Hey everyone, how is it going? This week's going to be a little bit different. It's kind of an impromptu kind of video. I was going to move into politics after talking about Designated Survivor and Netflix and all that crap. But I decided instead this week I'm going to talk about Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. And I know it probably is going to be a little bit annoying to some people, what I'm going to say. But it's not just a annoying kind of situation. It's more of a let's do something about it kind of situation. So there's been a lot of talk about Caitlin Clark. By the way, I love Caitlin Clark. She's awesome. I wish she would have won a national championship in her collegiate career. I actually watched more women's college basketball than men's. To be fair, I watched one men's and two women's. The final game with Purdue and UConn, and then the UConn, Iowa, and then the final game versus South Carolina on the women's side. So I'm a huge fan of Caitlin Clark. What she's done for the women's basketball collegiate is awesome. Her story's really cool of how she started out playing with the boys because there's no girls league, and all of these things are really, really cool. Now, the problem I'm talking about now is the WNBA salary and Caitlin Clark. So the Big Five, or Big Three offered her $5 million to come play, and then a rapper offered her $10 million to play on his Big Three. Whatever, a couple things transpired there. But she went to the WNBA for a whopping salary of, I believe, $76,000 or something like that, which is crazy low for what she made in the NIL the year prior, right? But that doesn't include endorsements. She's getting millions of dollars in endorsements. She has a Nike deal. She has all of these things, right? So this is not her only income is the WNBA. But what makes me so angry about people saying that's crap, she should be paid more, is that they are part of the problem, right? So I've said it before on my several videos back of shut up and do it is kind of my stance on things. If you want something to happen, you do it, right? It's not wait for action. It's you are the action, right? The WNBA, and I'm going to look down for a minute because I have some statistics. It's the only thing that I literally did today is write down these statistics. So for the WNBA from the New York Times, it is essentially said, and I'll put it up here, is it's not profitable and it makes about $200 million per year. $200 million per year. Keep that number. Now, the NBA revenue, by the way. NBA, this past year, based on Statistica, is $10.5 billion this past year. Notice the difference, $200 million to $10.5 billion. An increase from prior year of $500 million. That is 2.5 times more than the WNBA made in one season. Now, I'm not saying women aren't just as talented as men when it comes to playing these sports. I'm not saying that. What I am simply saying is cut the crap. If you're not profitable and you're not doing your entertainment, you could be the best comedian or the best actor or whatever in the world. But if you're not bringing in seats, people in seats, and you're not doing all the things that it requires to be an entertainment industry, you're not going to get paid. But with that being said, is all you people saying that she should get paid a lot more, well then pony up. Go buy F.E.A.R season tickets. They're off the charts right now. That's what she's going to do to the WNBA, is a lot of these new incoming players are going to see, hey, the NIL gave me this. Why the heck would I come to the WNBA? And they're pulling crowds. I mean, they had a fantastic year of pulling crowds. They beat the NCAA boys in regards to views, the South Carolina-Iowa game. That's incredible. But pony up. If you're going to be willing to fight this battle of women should be paid more than men or as much as men or whatever, then start buying women's gear. Go buy a Caitlin Clark jersey. Go buy season tickets for the F.E.A.R. Go buy season tickets for your favorite team or in the team in your state. That can become your favorite team. I don't know. But if you're just going to sit behind a screen like I'm doing right now and complain, What's the point? You can hide behind an article, but ultimately, if you don't have action, it doesn't matter. And it bothers the crap out of me because people don't think that don't have a business mindset of if you're not profitable, so much so that the NBA, based on what I've read, the NBA literally also has to help them. The NBA helps them. That's why. But that doesn't mean you can't become profitable. It just means you're not. Now, Caitlin Clark, I do believe, will change the WNBA. Obviously, it's not just Caitlin Clark. There's a lot of others that draw big crowds. Paige Bueckers on UConn. She's awesome. She draws crowds. Haley Van Lith, Angel Reese. I mean, all of these girls have done a fantastic job, and there's more that I haven't mentioned. But we need to pony up. If we really want to see change from the WNBA salary to what it should be, that revenue has to increase. And if it doesn't, it's not going to change. It's just no point to it. It's like putting money into a bar in the middle of nowhere that has literally no sales. What's the point? What is the point? If you look at yourself and you say, I am going to spend $500 a month on something over here that will gain me nothing, and it's over budget, and I only bring $400 in a year, are you going to still spend $500? No, it doesn't make sense why we are comparing men's basketball to women's basketball. Now, on a collegiate level, I think you could compare that because I think the girls and guys both have decent NIL contracts. But that's because they had 11.3 million views, I believe, don't quote me on that number, in the final game. Actually, I think that this UConn-Iowa game. And the other one was like 13 million, more than the men's. That's where it starts. The WNBA, it's not popular. And that stinks because there's a lot of fantastic players in the WNBA. And maybe it takes a Caitlin Clark or an Angel Reese to say, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to bring in the crowds. We're going to increase revenue X amount of tens and hundreds of millions of dollars and maybe get to that $1 billion. But still, even at $1 billion, which is a 5 times increase to the yearly revenue, you're still 10 times behind the men. Again, it's not a comparison of men versus women. It's a comparison of value. The NBA is valued so much higher. So you can't say that the number one draft pick, whatever, it's $10 million, and now you just reached $1 billion, yours should be $1 million. The first draft pick should be $1 million. Oh, but that's not even. It's not even because it's not even. The revenues aren't even. They're not even close. But if we're going to sit again behind and complain and whine and about all this equality, that's not what it's about. It's about revenue. So pony up. Buy season tickets. Buy tickets to a game in general. Buy a Caitlin Clark jersey. Buy a Angel Reese jersey. Buy the entire jersey of every single Fever player to support your team and to support your cause if that's the hill you want to die on, right? I do plan and hope to watch Caitlin Clark this year. I've never in my life thought about going to a WNBA game. I never in my life thought I would watch a women's basketball game just because it wasn't interesting to me. Again, to be fair, I don't watch hardly any NBA games, nor do I watch hardly any men's basketball games. So I don't watch very many sports in general, but it never crossed my mind to do that. And that's what I'm saying, is until it crosses people's minds, until they find it entertaining to the point where they'll spend money on it, it's not going to fix. It's not just going to be like, oh, hey, NBA, we need $1 million more because we increased everyone's salaries by $50,000 a year. Because if that $200 million doesn't go up, you're just going to have to keep borrowing from other leagues to stay afloat. Basically working like the government is already. Government's worthless. And I'm going to end on that. Please like, comment, subscribe. And next week we're actually going to be talking about politics in general and a story of mine which kind of takes a part of my life and kind of realizes what politics did to me in general. It's a good one. Check it out. That's going to be next week. Thanks, everyone.